Welcome. This is the Resonate podcast with Aideen. I'm here today with Ekaterina Kardakova. She is an accomplished opera singer, vocal coach, and presentation coach. From an early age, she immersed herself in music, following her passions across Europe and Scandinavia, gracing prestigious stages like La Scala in Italy. Over the past decade, Ekaterina recognized the power of voice coaching to elevate trust and credibility in business. Drawing on the vocal techniques used by top performers, she now empowers executives and leaders in the corporate world to harness their voice and make a lasting impact. And I'm so excited to share you with my listeners, Ekaterina, because I know from my own work as a voice coach how valuable the voice and understanding of the voice can be for building confidence and for expansion. And I'm really curious about how you figured out and discovered that you would be valuable in the business world, not just on the beautiful stages around Europe.
Well, thank you for the question and thank you for the invitation to this podcast. Basically, it was pretty unplanned. I started to think, how can I start my workshops? And I found a bar where they did different things, workshops, concerts, and I just asked if I can do my workshop there. And pretty many people came, and we had lots of fun because I always do all of my workshops in like what we do on stage, or usually how we do our workshops for opera singers. It's not only singing, standing, doing exercises, but it's a lot about acting. And I did all these acting exercises, and people loved it. We had a lot of fun. And just one guy came to me after that and said, "You know what? I'm an engineer, and I think my colleagues would love or really need your training." And this is how it started.
Oh, that's so amazing. So you were basically invited to do it through one of your clients. I was actually quite surprised when one of my singing clients said, "I'm coming to singing because I want to be a better speaker
Mhm.
for my work." And I because at that time I had just set up my business teaching singing. I knew it would build confidence, but I hadn't quite joined all the dots. How did that come across to you? Like, did you find that surprising that the impact that you were able to make with people in business?
I think it's surprising for them, not for me, because as a professional actress, I do understand how influential is the voice, how much you can do with your audience on an emotional level when you know how to use your voice. It's very powerful. So for people, of course, vocal training is mostly time they think they come to my trainings and think like they will work on their voice, but we will work not only on muscles, but we work a lot on emotions, how to speak so people listen to you, how can you express your emotions through the voice. So it's also has a lot to do with acting, with muscle training, yeah, I mean voice muscle training, etc. So for people from business, it might be something new because they never think about how important the voice is for communication and for influencing other people, for sales, for career, for promotion, etc. So the voice is a big part of self-presentation. And
Mm.
when they start working on voice, and first of all also knowing more about themselves, about their talents, about maybe some struggles, inner struggles, or limiting beliefs, because voice and limiting beliefs play very, very close together. They do understand how important it is, and they immediately see the result. So as long as they start work on their voice and they sound differently, they feel differently, they express themselves differently because they just know consciously how to do that, they see immediately the impact and the difference. And this is the goal. They feel that they are more heard by other people. They see that people more listen to them while they're presenting or doing some reports, especially now online, where you only basically see the upper body and listen to people. So you have to be very precise how you use your voice, not only words, because people basically don't listen to the words. They listen to the emotion you're saying, you are giving to
Mm.
them. And this is very important.
Ah, I love that. I'm curious, was this something that you had to cultivate yourself, or did you instinctively, as a young person, put a lot of emotion into your performance? Was it something that you had access to early on?
Yes, I think so. Because for me, from very little, was very interesting to play different roles. Because all of my protagonists, all the roles I'm playing, they're so different from me. And when I create a role, I think, how can I do it the best? Or who is this person? Why is she doing this and reacting on this situation completely different that I would react? So I create this avatar from very beginning, and of course I think about the emotions and the music which am singing. It helps a lot to understand all these causes and results, so it's easier to express emotions. And because I'm a very emotional person, it's easy for me to express emotions. But from my work, I know that for many people it's pretty hard to express emotions. That's why they sound monotonous, quiet. They kind of hide themselves. And when we start working, I explain that it can be different. And people start, again, I repeat, people start to learn about themselves more.
Mm. the There is an impression sometimes that in the business world we have to be maybe more formal or to fit in some way. But what I loved about what you said was that when you were working with new roles, you would try to get into the mind and the why. Like, why is that person acting that way? Is that something that you also draw out when you're working with your clients? Like, are you trying to find out more about what their reasons are for sharing?
Yes, actually, I always start my trainings about where you want to be, what's your future you. We always create this avatar, future me, where I want to be after 10 lessons, after the training ends. Where is the be, like we are in, here's the start, this is the finish. What you want to learn and who you want to be when you finish. And here also I ask lots of questions like, what's your goals? It's not only about the voice, by the way. People come to the voice training and think that they want to work on the voice, but actually, while the training we dig deeper, people understand that they want to have a new job, they want to have a promotion in the career, or they have to want to grow the business, or they want to show themselves in a different role differently, etc. So there are so many things which come up. And of course the beginning is, who am I, where I want to go.
Mm. I love that you do it as a visual exercise when you're, I mean, is that something that we could even do with our listeners right now as a little exercise? I'm kind of wondering how you make that, how you help people embody that new future version of themselves. Can you tell us a bit more? Maybe give us a little sneak peek into that exercise for anyone listening?
Yeah, a couple of years ago I did a course at Mind Valley. Maybe you know Mind Valley by
Yes.
Vision. This course was called The Book of Life, but by Butchers. This is a couple of butchers. They created this course, Future Me, how to create future me. And basically they say, imagine, or allow yourself, first of all, allow yourself to imagine that you have everything you want, and allow yourself to dream big. Where will you be in 25 years? Like, really allow yourself. And this is also a very important thing. People don't allow themselves to dream big. They always limit, like, okay, I already have my apartment, a house, I have my car, I have a job which is paid. I know, end of dreaming. No. It can be even more and even big and even better. So and then when a person or my client allows him or herself to big dream, where he or she wants to be in 25 years, then we do the decomposition: 15, 10, 5, 3, 1 year. And then the task is to think about, what can I do with little steps every day to achieve this goal where I want to be in 1 year? Step by step, with little
Mm.
steps, 10, 15 minutes per day. Yeah, this is the technique. We just
Mm.
called the book of life. Create your future like future me, just little small steps, but daily steps.
That must feel amazing when someone actually allows themselves to really dream that. Because I think each of us, nobody actually knows exactly the full potential of what they are becoming. Like we can guess, but there's so much more possible. We don't know what opportunities exactly are going to come our way. And to imagine in a very expansive way maybe for some people could create some anxiety, but it could create a lot of excitement and a lot of positive emotions as well.
Of course, this is the idea, because when people start dreaming, they gain so much energy. Yeah, they gain so much this power of imagination, and this power gives you lots of energy to do things, to act, to achieve goals. Yeah.
And that brings you really very clearly to why you would take on some of these techniques, like why you can use your voice in a way that maybe is a little more serious or is a little more direct or a little deeper. So, what do you think? What kind of clients do you find you need your help the most? Like, are they like squeaky speakers that need to deepen their voice, or are there what kinds of people do you like to help?
Well, any kind of people who would like to develop themselves. This is for me the most important thing, because I can help them with techniques, but they do the job. This is the most pleasant people who are conscious about that they have to do their homework. If they don't do it, nothing will happen, because I'm here just to help, but they do the job. Mm.
Mhm. Is there anything you'd like to say about the process of how you work with people over the course of those 10 weeks that you think might give an insight for our listeners?
Yeah, so my course is 10 weeks, 10 lessons, and I usually also have a like pre-conversation with the person to understand why this person is here, and why, what kind of goals he or she has. And at the beginning, usually people, as I said before, don't have a clear vision why they're here. They just, have something, want something, and they think that the problem is the voice, but actually no, not. And in these 10 lessons, we tell, so I explain how the voice works, how the body works. We work a lot on body language. We work a lot on creating this new avatar. Yeah, I call it avatar because I always say leadership is an acting skill. So leadership means that I show myself in public and I'm confident. I love what I do and I share my love with other people. Yeah. So we
Hmm.
create this avatar, and during this process lots of different topics come up. Some people some people, for example, say, I would like to work more on creating this avatar. I need help on creating this avatar, like a new role. Some people say, I want to learn more about body language because I feel that I'm very good in speaking, but I don't know what to do with my hands, with my legs. I, uh, mm, I mean, my body is so disconnected. Some people say they want to work more on emotional intelligence to sound less monotonous. So the voice is by itself is growing and getting strong, powerful, but also more emotional. Lots of different topics. Depends on what really people want.
That's fascinating. Tell us a little bit about your own journey with your business, because I know that there are many stages to developing this kind of an offering. Can you tell us a little bit about how your journey came from that first workshop where the engineer comes up and says, my colleagues need you." Um, what has it been like for you as a business, a small business owner?
Yeah, there were many up and downs, and in these 10 years, basically, I really like that I started it because when I was singing in the opera, and I was singing until the COVID came, because here in Europe everything was closed, and somehow intuitively I understood before a couple of years before 5 years before that I have to try something else. I have to try something else because I love singing. However, if you're not Netrebko or a very, very big star, it's not always easy. So I thought, like, okay, I will start my business and I will learn about business. I mean, it was a really journey from an opera singer to business owner.
Yeah, I bet.
I learned a lot because I didn't have a clue about, firstly, what else I can do except singing, playing piano, or conducting, or making music. And then I figured out that I actually can do many other things, and I love to learn. So I learned fast, and I did some courses, and also went to some classes about marketing, about how to create a business or business plan, how to make analysis, so all this business stuff. And then I started my business somehow. In I don't know how, but I feel all these tendencies. I feel what people need and how to package it. And then I also did my second master degrees in marketing and business development, and during COVID did completely only online business. So I gained more and more experience, and now I have to say that I love having clients, and I love teaching, speaking, but I also love this business side, because I learn every day so many new things. And it's all about people. Basically, business is all about people, helping people. Yeah, how I can sell my service with my helping people with voice and public speaking and confidence, and how to package it. Basically, it's all about working with people. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Mm.
It's like, again, on the stage, I had all of my roles, and now I just communicate with so many different people. And this experience on stage helps a lot, just to understand people, because I created so many different roles.
What would you say to someone who's just starting on their journey with their voice, or they're feeling a bit stuck at the moment?
I think that the first step should be allow yourself to be loud, and allow yourself to sound ugly, not beautiful. That's okay. It's just the beginning, because this is where people think like, oh, I cannot sing because I don't sound perfectly. That's okay. I mean, everyone can sing, because singing is just knowing your body. Vocal cords are just muscles. If you go every day to a gym, you train your muscles, the muscles are growing. The same is with singing. So you practice, and you're getting better. Just, don't expect too much immediately. It's a process, and just enjoy the process. That's all.
Mhm. I love that idea of the loud and ugly, because one of the techniques I used a lot when I was teaching singing mainly was the primal sounds. And the primal sounds are sounds that you would make as a child, like yelling or screeching or doing animal noises and all of those. Those primal sounds, they're quite instinctual. And when we use them, and when we, as an adult, and especially as an adult perhaps who doesn't use their voice freely yet, it can be so liberating to make a loud noise that when you haven't maybe made a loud noise in decades.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the most interesting thing is that when people allow themselves to be loud and ugly, they're also getting, is it me? Can I really produce such big sound? Is it okay? Yes, it's okay. It's very good. Keep going.
Definitely. It is okay. I think it's sometimes, when you learn, say, fitness, they talk a lot about, if you're a certain type of an athlete, for instance, a javelin thrower. So you just throw the javelin. None of those athletes only train that one part of their body. They always train the whole body. And I feel like that with the voice, that even though you may want to just do speaking, that you need to explore your voice and find out what it's capable of at the high end, at the low end, at the soft end, at the loud end. And by exploring it, then you have more, uh, the word, I guess, is more knowledge of who you are and what you are. It's a different feeling of competency when you've tried many ways of using your voice.
Well, I call it body consciousness.
There is a good way
Basically,
to do it.
yeah, basically you learn about your body because opera singers are also athletes. Otherwise, you cannot, you have to train your body so much and be so conscious about every single move. You have to know about your body so well. And this is also a very interesting journey to discover what kind of potential has your body. It's very interesting for many people.
Tell us more about that. I'm not sure if I know exactly what you would mean by that.
No, exactly what you said before. When you practice and you explore your voice, how high you can sing, or how low, or how powerful you can sound. It's all about observing your body. It's all about what am I doing, or what is happening in my body right now that I can produce so beautiful, loud sound. Yeah,
Mm.
what muscles are working? So basically, I call it the inner eye is observing my body and tries to remember the good things. This is what I mean.
Yes. So there's a kind of an awareness growing. There's something that I speak up to a lot is the idea of presence. And presence is a way of being, having, as you said, the inner eye, that you're conscious. You said body consciousness, but it's like being aware of who you are, how you feel, while also being aware of what's outside of you, which is a real skill, I think.
Yeah, and it helps a lot, not only for vocal training, but also for any kind of physical activities,
Mm. Yep.
right?
And even for public speaking, anywhere where you have to
Express through body.
communicate.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um, I I'm finding this so interesting. There's something that I thought we could touch on as well is this idea of accepting. When we do those kind of loud noises and we play with our voices a little, we start to accept ourselves more deeply. And to me, I feel like self-love and self-compassion are very important um, to in order to fully step into your power. Would you feel the same?
Yes, but I think that from my experience, this is already the advanced level
Okay.
to express love and etc. The first is that allow this to fight or to embrace your fears. And the first step is anger. So just be loud and ugly. And then when the person is used to these ugly sounds, now let's form it. I always say that every voice is a diamond. Imagine that the diamond is just raw diamond. And now we have to make a form for this diamond. And then comes love, because at the end it's something very beautiful and shiny and warm. You understand?
Hmm. Let's all go on a journey to explore ourselves, explore our voices, explore what our potential is. And that's, I think, what you were saying about having that avatar of who you are becoming in 10 years' time, in 25 years' time. Um, it's potential, right? It's like we can stay where we are. And some people are like, well, I've got the job, I've got the car, I'm pretty happy. But if we can explore and maybe dream a little, then we can be inspired to take those small actions on a daily basis that could dramatically change the trajectory of our lives.
Yes. And I also think that It's important to have in mind that working on voice is also working on yourself, on your mental self, on your emotional part. So when people start working on the voice, they understand that it's not only about physical body, it's also a lot about the emotions, because the voice is the most powerful instrument of emotions. And we people, we communicate and we understand information while communication through these emotions. We remember not the words which people say, we remember the emotions or the pictures these words created. But the pictures, you know, have also very something, a lot to do with emotions. So how to express clearly, clear, big emotions through the voice. For example, if you want to sound confident, how the voice sounds. Usually, confident voice is deep, slow, clear. Yeah. So this
Hmm.
beautiful big voice. And when people listen to this voice, they always say, "Oh, this is the voice of a authority person, the person with a high status, or the trustful person." Immediately, yeah, right.
Hmm.
And if, for example, if we hear loud and kind of shrill voice, people think like, "Oh, this is not so pleasant. So this person might be, doesn't feel well." Yeah, something like this. So
Hmm.
my idea is to work on the voice doesn't only mean that you work and train your muscles, but you also train your emotional intelligence. This is also important. You train how to express emotions through your voice. For example, simple example, when you call someone and ask, "How are you?" And the person says, "Good." You understand that the word good is okay, but how it sounds is not good. And you start asking, "Yeah, what you don't sound so well? What happened?" And this is exactly what I'm teaching for executive business people. You should sound confident with authority all the time, because we everything what we hear, we immediately pursue subconsciously. You cannot, if you're not a professional actor, a professional opera singer, you cannot hide that something is not good through your voice, how you speak. So if
Hmm.
you want, for example, if you want to have a promotion but you don't feel well, something had happened, or you had a bad conversation before, you should be trained, you should be very good prepared, and you should know how to use your voice, sound confident in any stressful situation. You understand what I mean?
Yes. And I think
Sorry.
very important for leaders as well, that when a business has a big problem, that they infuse that confidence into their employees, that they don't reveal. And I think parents as well have to do this, that you don't want to share, really a financial stress with the children, that you have to keep things a certain way. And they are listening to the tone and the emotions in the voice. I think it's a really lovely focus for how you work. I think that's so powerful. Before we finish up today, is there anything that you would like to say to the listeners? Any last gem, little piece of wisdom that you'd like them to remember?
Today I was thinking, this morning, I was thinking about that so many people think that they can communicate. Like, what it's like, we all communicate, we just have conversations. But in reality, how many people can really communicate? Meaning that how many people can use the voice correctly to be heard? They use their not words but non-verbal communication to express themselves. People like them, immediately like them, and listen to them. So um, I just want to give the idea that if you want to be successful, think more about how you communicate, because success is all about people. Business opportunities is all about people. And the key is the right communication starts not only with words, but first of all with sound of your voice.
The other thing that I think it's worth reiterating is what you said about people in business and in leadership, that it's almost like they are in a role. Is that what was it you said about that? That they have to be in a performance or
I say leadership is an acting skill. So it's all about acting because you cannot be a leader all the time. You go home and you sit down on the couch. You're not a leader. You just want to relax. But in some situations, you should show your leadership skills.
Yep, I like that. Leadership is an acting skill.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much, Katerina, for coming on the Resonate podcast today. I love how you think about voice. I think it's so valuable, and I encourage our listeners to connect with you. And there will be some links available to connect with Ekaterina. And if you have anything you'd like to say about today's topic or anything you would like us to advise you on, please get in touch. We would love to hear from you. That's it for today from the Resonate podcast with Aideen. I'm Aideen Riada, and I look forward to having you join us on another episode soon. Bye bye.